Hello, and welcome back to the Pure Nintendo podcast. This is your weekly dose of all things Nintendo. My name is Gemma, and joining me this week, I have my two excellent friends with me once again. Welcome back, Trev. How are you this week?
Hey Gemma, I'm pretty good. I'm back from my Super Bowl defeat hiatus.
Yes, you're
Oh,
taking some time to lick your wounds there.
yeah.
And welcome back, Kirk.
Hey, I didn't need that hiatus, so
Yeah.
it's a good start of 2026 for me.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you both for joining me this week. And we have a huge show. Again, there's just so much happening at the moment. We've got a lot to cover. So we're going to dive straight into it because today for me, because I'm recording the 21st of February. This episode will launch on the 23rd, but it is The Legend of Zelda's 40th anniversary today, which means that the Japanese release of the original game, The Legend of Zelda, on the Famicom disk system, wasn't even the NES actually, it was released today, 40 years ago. So we're going to talk a little bit about Zelda first off. The NES version was released in August 1987 for North America and November 16th of that same year for the PAL regions, just FYI. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys because we're big Zelda fans, the three of us. Some of us have been playing since the very beginning. I think, Trev, you and I. What would I guess, first of all, our favorite game of the series. Then I do want to talk about how we think Nintendo will celebrate the 40th anniversary. But can you pick a single game? Trev, did you want to kick off? What would be your favorite game?
Oh, why are you starting with me?
I don't know.
Give me time to think.
I don't know if I can, Gemma. I mean,
It's
I could do
hard.
favorites,
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
okay.
still probably leaving myself with a ton of games. I played it from the start, so like for pure nostalgia, the NES original it's my childhood. But like Wind Waker, there's so much I love about that game. Twilight Princess, I love the dungeons in that one. I think Skyward Sword's a brilliant game. I think Link Between Worlds was a great handheld game, and it just picked up kind of from the SNES game, which was also great.
Yeah.
Goodness, Link's Awakening. I mean, I suppose if you put a gun to my head and I could separate 3D to top down, I'd say 3D, Wind Waker, most days of the week, not every day. And then maybe A Link Between Worlds or the Link's Awakening update for the Switch for top down. But man, I'm missing Ocarina of Time. We're gonna get email. Where's that? That's great too. I mean, I can't pick.
It's hard. It's 40 years of history, and I was trying to think. I could just look this up, but how many games there have been? And you've just counted off a lot of them. That's not all of them. There's a lot. There's a lot. So it is hard to choose. It is really, really hard. Kirk, did you want to give it a go?
Twilight Princess.
Hey, there you go. That was easy.
Not as hard for me. There are a lot of games I love. I mean, obviously, I love Breath of the Wild and Minish Cap. I had a wonderful time with that when I played it.
Yeah, Minish Cap.
And like you were saying with Wind Waker was the first one that I played, and it completely blew me away and made me a Nintendo/Zelda fan for life. But when I look back at the games that I played and the one that I would most likely want to play again and again and again, it's going to be Twilight Princess.
Yeah, that's fair. That's really good. I guess I have to say mine now.
Well, wait, for Twilight Princess, GameCube, Wii, or Wii U?
Which version?
I played it on the Wii.
Yeah, okay.
And the Wii U, but it's the Wii version that, hooked me.
I got you.
Yeah. I mean, I would say if I was going to do what Trev did and separate it into 2D and 3D, I would go for Twilight Princess as my favorite 3D, which is tough because I do love Wind Waker. Obviously Breath of the Wild has its place. It's, it expands on that world so much. So it is really hard. It is. And I would play any of them again. Skyward Sword, because I was kind of late into Skyward Sword. I didn't get it when it originally came out. I got the re-release of that one. Loved it, of course. So there's a lot of love. Ocarina of Time holds a special place, of course, because it was the first 3D one. And Trevor, you and I would have played it at the time back on the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, that's very nostalgic too.
Yeah. So it's very tricky, but I do just seem to have a soft spot for Twilight Princess. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the wolf mechanic and Midna. I just love that game, and I kind of love the darkness a little bit too. I love Wind Waker's cartoony style, but I'm a little bit dark inside sometimes. Believe it or not. So even though I love my Mario's and my Pokemons, sometimes I have a dark side, and that's it. So in 2D. I'd probably have to go with Link to the Past, I'd say. Yeah.
Nice.
But they're all so good. They're really, really good. Link Between Worlds, you mentioned. Minish Cap, of course. That was, and I forgot about that, but that is a great game. A really, really good game. So it's hard. It's it's hard. We should do a poll. We'll do a poll with this episode and see if people can choose. But I don't think I can even fit all the games onto a poll. I think you're
I was
limited
going to
to
say, which
like
games do you omit?
yeah, because I think you can only put 7 maybe in the poll on Spotify and on YouTube. I don't know what the limit is there, but I'll put something in and see how we go. It is really tricky. I was reading about the original game, and Miyamoto obviously was behind. He's the creator of the Legend of Zelda series. I didn't really know this, but it was the first one was kind of inspired by his own experiences as a kid in his hometown of Sonobe. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, in Japan, which is not too far from Kyoto. And he would explore as a kid in the 60s, and he found like a cave, and it was dark, and he came back the next day with a homemade lantern, and the light, and was looking around the cave. He didn't find monsters and do boss battles and stuff like that, but he found what he would
Nobody
call
handed him a sword and
no.
said it's dangerous to go alone.
Yeah, I wonder where that quote came from. But he did find what I would think a kid might call treasures. I don't know what those treasures were, but when you're a kid and you're on the beach or you're looking around, you find something. It's rubbish, really, but to a kid, it's a treasure, right? It could be a bottle cap or I don't know, a cool rock or something, right? So,
Mhm.
that exploration was what inspired the game and the whole series. So I think that's really, really neat. What did you know that, Trev? Were you aware of that story?
I was, yeah, and
Mhm.
that's part of why I was when they first like announced Breath of the Wild.
Mhm.
That was one of the things that excited me. I know people miss the dungeons, and eventually I did too. But at first, I'm like, wow, this is like it reminds me of the original Zelda, but in 3D and
Mm.
expanded, and it kind of matches with what I had read about his initial inspiration, and now it could be fully realized because like as a
Yeah.
kid playing the NES, the world seemed huge, but as an adult, you realize, okay, it's only 9 by 9 or whatever it was. But Breath of the Wild, it was like, what was it modeled after? Like, um, I forget, like
Oh, yeah, I can't
how
remember
many
the number
square
either.
miles it was, but it was ridiculously
Yeah,
huge. And I'm like,
it was
that's what
huge.
that's like. And
Yeah.
maybe the world's a little more empty in certain regards. And like I said, eventually I did miss dungeons, but yeah, I knew that story, and I thought it was a cute. And there's a lot of stories like that with other games. Like I think Pikmin was
Mm.
from him gardening,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
wherever he's getting his inspiration from is awesome because the games are great.
Yeah. I know. He's a great a legend really, isn't he? Yeah, that is super cool. I think, I don't know, I love all that stuff too. I think it's fantastic. I wonder what now we have this anniversary. It's officially today for me, tomorrow for you guys, and it'll be a couple of days ago when you're listening to this. But it's obviously Nintendo takes their time with these things. So, they're still celebrating the Mario 40th anniversary, which was from last year. What do we think? I don't think they're going to do anything this weekend, for example, when we're recording. They're still, they've got to wrap up this Mario business. It'll be a long celebration, but I guess, what do we think they'll do? And also, what would we like them to do? Because they could be two very different things. So I don't know who would like to, maybe Kirk this time. Would you care to start that conversation? Like, what would
I
you like them
guess.
to
I mean, yeah, I don't know if I'm ever qualified enough to say what I think they'll do.
do? Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if we finally get some of these HD remasters that people have been clamoring for quite some time.
Hmm.
Perhaps a Twilight Princess re-release. I don't think we're going to get any kind of a new game,
Hmm.
or at least not a new announcement. But yeah, some kind of thing like that before too long. and then maybe more information on the movie that's coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I wouldn't expect anything more than that. I don't think we're going to get like the next step in the Zelda series, even this year, or even like another Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom follow up. So nothing that major.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
Because I think fans also put more weight on anniversaries than the developers and the publishers do.
Yes, I do think that is true. Definitely think that is true. Nintendo obviously has acknowledged the Mario one, and there's a logo, and they put that little scene before a lot of the new trailers. They've got the movie coming up, and Mario Wonder's got some new content, etc. But I do think you're right. I think the fans emphasize it a lot more. We among ourselves even we always notice the anniversaries, don't we, Trev? But it's not always acknowledged by the developers. But that's okay. This one's a
Yeah.
huge one, so I think they'll do something. But yeah, what do you think, Trev?
Well, it's funny if you guys remember when Justin and I did our predictions.
Mm-hmm.
I think I should have probably double checked to make sure, but I think the only Zelda prediction I had was I predicted a Twilight Princess like remaster or port, I guess, because it's been 10 years since the Wii U HD version. And I know people are like, oh, they'll put Wind Waker and Twilight together. That's not going to happen. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah.
They could
Nintendo
sell
giving
them
up a
into
money making opportunity.
yeah. Nintendo likes the money making game, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
so I wouldn't mind seeing that. And in fact, the issue of the mag coming out, I did a little opinion piece on
You did, yeah.
Phantom Hourglass, which is another game I didn't mention, but is a great game too. I think if they were going to re-release HD versions of like Wind Waker or Twilight, which they've already done, right? Because they started back on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would do, rather than bundle them together, they could potentially bundle them like Wind Waker with Phantom, because that's the sequel,
Mm.
or Twilight Princess with like Link's Crossbow training, which is in that world, or
Mm-hmm.
Twilight Princess Picross, whatever the case may be. I don't know how a realistic a prediction that is, but I figured I had to do a Zelda guess. Whatever they do, I'd like to see them go back to a more traditional style. I've enjoyed Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, the Hyrule Warrior games set in that universe, but I've had my fill of them. And I'm ready for
Yeah.
something more traditional with traditional items, traditional dungeons. I think now it's been long enough where they're no longer in a stale rut, and now they're going to be like, uh, welcome back, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I think that's a really good point, and I tend to agree. I mean, I agree with both of you. I feel like, yeah, like Kirk said, I don't think we're going to get a new big game this year, like a new Breath of the Wild sequel or whatever, Tears of the Kingdom sequel. We might get teased the next Zelda game, maybe. Like the next big 3D Zelda might get teased sometime in the second half of the year, potentially, like even to time with the movie. But it might even come next year when the movie's a bit closer. I think we'll get a trailer for the movie at some point this year. But I wouldn't, and yeah, the HD like port seems likely of something. I don't know if that's just the fans because we keep clamoring for it, or if it's actually going to happen. But that seems most likely something. Um, maybe Twilight Princess. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something smaller, or maybe this is me what I want actually versus what I think they'll do. I would like something like a new top down, kind of like what they did with Echoes of Wisdom. They kind of surprised us there. That came out of the blue. Maybe another top down adventure in that kind of vein would be
Yeah,
welcome for me. I don't know if it's too soon for that. I don't know. We don't know what they're working on.
I don't
I
think
was
so.
Yeah, I was thinking if they really wanted to tie it in with the 40th anniversary, obviously that's the original game. I don't necessarily want a port of the original game. I've played that one quite a few times, and it is, like you said, it's smaller now by today's standards than it was to us back then. But some kind of version of that, like a remix or a sequel, like a direct sequel to that game as opposed
Yeah.
to Zelda 2, which we already have. I don't know. That'd be really neat.
I like that idea of a remix or like even
Mm.
some type of like randomizer
Yeah.
just to inject some new new life into it. I think that could be, for like a little eShop type release or something.
Yeah.
Could be a lot of fun.
I was thinking about, in the original game, how once you complete it, you can play it again and the dungeons have all moved around.
Mm.
So I was thinking they could release that version where it's like the second version that a lot of people may not have played before. And you can't just rely on your instinct, because I know where a lot of the dungeons are from memory. I don't remember where they are the second time, though. So
Yeah.
that would be kind of cool. Yeah, I
Second
don't know.
quest pretty hard. It really is.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
never I beat the game, but not the second quest.
same. Yeah, so that would be my thoughts on what I would like to see. I don't think that will necessarily happen, but I do think there'll be something, something small potentially, like you were saying, the Picross thing or the crossbow, even maybe a new little side thing like that would be neat, potentially. I don't know. Time will tell, of course, and we can all just speculate and want and talk about what we want. Doesn't change what actually happens, but it is exciting to think what's possible and what we could have. I think they'll have to get through Pokemon and Mario first, because those anniversaries are right now. So, yeah, Zelda's next. Very, very much looking forward to that. Do you guys have anything else to add to the whole Zelda anniversary before we move on to some other news?
I'm surprised you didn't predict any or hope for any Zelda amiibo, Gemma.
Oh, yeah, true. There are a lot already, but I mean, imagine. Oh, they've already got the 8-bit one too, actually. I was going to say some 8-bit ones, but they've already got a Zelda 8-bit, haven't they?
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who
there's
would you want, Gemma?
who
Because
I want.
I'm sure you have a lot. Which Zelda character from all the games do you really want to have sitting on your shelf?
That's a good question. I think I've got the ones I want. I don't know. Like Zelda, of course, but I've got Zelda and Link.
King of the Red Lions from Wind Waker.
Yeah, that's a good one. Because I've got Wolf Link. That's a really cool one. Yeah, what else? Maybe something obscure like Minish Cap, even something like a mini, some of the mini little people or something. I don't know.
I was thinking when you talked about a potential top down,
Mm.
I think they could easily, maybe not Minish Cap, that had a really distinct visual style, but
Mhm.
the Oracle games, I think they could
Yeah.
really work in that
Mhm.
Link's Awakening or Echoes of Wisdom type of visual look.
Yeah, exactly. And they could do that in one pack, I suppose, if they wanted to.
That would make that'd be more realistic
Yeah.
than Twilight and Wind Waker.
That would be really cool. I'd like to see that. And I think a lot of people may have missed those ones too. So, yeah.
Yeah, they were late releases on old hardware.
Yeah, well, I've only played one of them, for example. I don't think I may have both, but I don't think I've played both, to be honest. I think I played Seasons, I think. What was the other one? Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons.
Ages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sure I played Seasons, and I don't think I played Ages. So even I've missed out on one. So there you go. Yeah, it's got to be a thing with a lot of other people. Cool. Thank you, guys. That's a good discussion on The Legend of Zelda. Let us know, listeners, what you would like to see from the anniversary, what you expect to see. Next up, we are going to talk about the Virtual Boy, because that came out during the week. Kirk, did you get yours?
I did.
Cool. Did you set it up?
I did. It actually
Nice.
came on Saturday. It was supposed to arrive on
Oh.
Monday, but it came in on Saturday. Of course, I couldn't do anything with it till Tuesday. But yep,
That's nice and early. Oh yeah, because the games weren't available until Tuesday. You've got the cardboard version. Okay,
yeah.
so I ended up, and I did it live on the show last week, Trev. Did you notice I ordered my Virtual Boy on the show?
I heard.
Yeah. So it did
I
arrive.
feel like then it's a business expense. You need to charge that to the company since you did it while on the company time.
True. I'll hit Justin up about that. So it arrived. Didn't arrive till Thursday for me, but that's okay. It arrived on Thursday. I did set it up just last night. I want to know the difference. I will be getting the cardboard one. Nintendo Australia is very kindly sending me one, actually, so I will be able to compare them. But as of right now, I only have the kind of original one. I'm kind of looking forward to trying the cardboard one, because I feel like that might be easier, like to sit back and Trev, you'll know what the original one's like, because you have the actual original one from the 90s. But your neck does get a bit sore with the stand sort of sitting there. But sorry to sort of verge off the course there, but Kirk, what's your experience so far with the cardboard one, and I guess then with the games?
Two main thoughts on the setup for it.
Mhm.
First, we talked about how a reader somewhere, I can't remember where I was looking, said that he was going to use one of his systems, a backup switch,
Yes.
and just make that his permanent Virtual Boy setup.
Mhm.
I thought I could do that with my cardboard version too, so I put my OLED in there, but it's too small. I mean, it fits, but it
Ah.
slides around. There are no brackets or anything. It's designed to fit the Switch 2, of course, and that's
Mm.
nice and tight. But putting the OLED in there, it depending on the game I was playing, it kept shifting around, and so suddenly like the screen's moving away from the goggles, we'll call them.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so it didn't work. I thought, all right, well, I won't do this. I'll just install it on the Switch 2. And then there now it's nice and tight and it doesn't move around and I've got a bit more screen. Um, so that would be my first recommendation. I
Yeah,
don't know
okay.
why they didn't include like any bracers so it would sit in place better on a
Mm,
regular
mhm.
Switch. I
'Cause
I assume that yours doesn't have anything like that, or
it does actually,
okay,
yeah.
all right.
So
Well, see,
by
you paid more for it, so there you go.
yeah. So it does come with an extra bracket you can change over. So it's by default, it fits the Switch 2. But
Mhm.
you kinda have to take these little screws off. There's 4 little screws. I haven't done it because 'cause I'm just using my Switch 2, but, you can take this little bracket off, and then you put this other bracket on, and it will fit the Switch 1. So that is cool, I guess. Didn't know that wasn't the case for the cardboard one. I thought they'd put something in there,
Y
but
Yeah, it
okay.
literally is held in place with just, like, these spongy kind of, like pressure is being put on it from the cardboard with these soft,
Right.
spongy things that hold it in place.
Yeah, okay. Mhm. Cool, cool. Good to know, good to know.
But what I do like about having the cardboard version, you mentioned, being able to relax with it. I found a
Mhm.
system that works for me, so I'm not holding it up to my face the whole time. If I get in my recliner chair and set it all the way back,
Mm.
now it's like the weight of it is pressing against my forehead, and I'm not holding it as much. Of course, my arms still get a little bit tired, but then I just adjust the reclining of the recliner chair, the angle of it, and the pressure is elsewhere. So if every few minutes I just keep moving the chair up and down and up and down, I can play for much longer than I would be able to otherwise.
Ah, see, that's pretty
So
cool.
yeah,
So,
that works.
my question for you then is, you're holding it to your face, but how are you
Yes.
playing? Because are you using the Joy-Cons? Because that's what you have to do with the other one, with my one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so how are
It's
you
like
playing
I'm
and
holding it.
holding Joy-Cons?
Well, it's I didn't even think. Yeah, no, you've got to have the Joy Cons in the system. So you have to take the
Oh,
Joy-Con off the Switch, slide the Switch in, put the Joy-Con back on, and then play it while holding it, using the Joy-Con while you're holding it to your face.
right, okay. Whereas what I can do, or what I've been doing is, the Joy-Cons are detached, so I'm just, moving my hands around as needed when I'm playing, because I'm just, like, looking into the
Yeah.
device, yeah, because it's just on a
Yeah.
stand, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, okay, cool.
Now, I suppose I could somehow get a system to strap it to my head,
Yeah,
like
that
a
would be handy.
MetaQuest or something.
Because how heavy is it? I mean, the Switch itself has its own weight, but then the
Yeah.
cardboard, I guess, is not too heavy, right?
No, most of the weight I think probably comes from the plastic.
Mhm, mhm.
So it's not that heavy. It's mainly holding the Switch up that provides all the weight.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Okay, that's interesting. Trev, you had the original. What do
Mhm.
you think about this? I know you don't have it. I mean, are you tempted, or do you not need to because you have like, you literally still have it, right? Like, it's still a thing you own physically.
Um, it's broke, but
Right. Mhm.
technically I do. I did sell off most of the games,
Mhm.
because it's a pain to fix. Without getting too technical, there's like a ribbon cable that they just glued,
Mm.
and over time the glue, I guess, evaporates. I think some people like put theirs in the oven, but I'm not gonna
What?
bother with that. I'd sell it for parts
That's a
before I
hack.
I did that. But anyway, I'm tempted insofar as it's new when people are talking about it, and
Mm, mhm.
I do have memories, childhood
Yeah.
memories from it.
Yeah.
But for me, it'd be one thing if I could get a Virtual Boy and have the games like pre-installed,
Mhm.
but they're tied to Switch Online, right?
Mhm.
So do I want to get the deluxe one, which would look good on my shelf, but is just something else I'd have to dust once the novelty wore off.
Yeah.
I'd be more likely to probably spring for the cardboard since it's less expensive, but
Hmm.
then I have to be like, I'm literally paying Nintendo for cardboard. And it just
Mhm.
sounds funny. And I know they already have that with Labo and stuff like that, but um, yeah, I'm waiting to see what more people think. And I guess
Mhm.
I'll ask you, Gemma, specifically with the deluxe unit.
Mm.
I don't imagine this would be so much of a concern with the cardboard, but is there any worry about like, is it so snug? Are you worried about scratching the screen or anything like that?
No, I'm pretty happy with it. I like it. I think, and I don't know how different it is to the original in terms of I didn't have the original. It wasn't even released in Australia. So for me, I am very excited to have this. It's kind of been this console, this kind of epic legendary console that lasted a year. Like we talk about Wii U failing, right? No one ever talks about the Virtual Boy failing. And where was that on the sales list last week? Virtual Boy's not even on the list, right? You know what I mean?
It didn't
So
even do a million.
yeah, exactly. So it's kind of this really weird system that just existed for a blink, a moment of time. And I finally got my hands on one. Like I said, I don't know how different it is. It looks similar to me. I haven't like done a full comparison online, but looking at it, it's decent sized. It doesn't feel too heavy, but it's not too light. It feels relatively quality, like high quality, maybe a little plasticky, I suppose. It took me a while to work out what to do. Like the instructions, there are instructions, but yeah. Did you have this as well?
Yeah, can I echo that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to exit games. I couldn't figure out how to switch games. I couldn't figure out how to find the controls to the games.
yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, all of that.
and the funny thing is they do explain it. It's just like it's written in a way that it's so easy to miss
Hmm.
with the ZR buttons, right? Did you get that?
Yeah, hmm, yeah,
Yeah.
yes, definitely. Yes, I
Oh,
definitely did
sorry,
get it.
ZLNZR.
Yeah,
The
the two
yeah.
extra triggers. Yeah. So my son filmed me opening the box and putting the Switch 2 into it. I haven't checked to see the quality of that video yet, because if it's decent, I'll put it on YouTube as like a not a tutorial exactly, but like a unboxing, whatever. I'll see how I go. I don't know. I haven't checked. My son, my 12-year-old, was filming, so it may not be YouTube worthy. But we'll see. But yeah, because I thought I had trouble opening it. Even finding because it's not obvious to me. I've never had a virtual bar. I don't know if this and the old one presumably didn't open because you weren't putting a switch in there. You were just putting a cartridge in there. So this one opens up. It looks like the switch doesn't even fit, and then when you put it in, it does go all the way in somehow. And once it's in, it's fine and it's all good. And it's pretty easy to attach the stand. The stand isn't that tall. I guess it's the same height as the original, I imagine. Why would they make it different? I don't know. But I do find myself having to lean over a lot, which is where the neck pain does come in a little bit. So playing for long periods of time isn't really doable. But I do love the look of it, though. I mean, we all know it's a red and black kind of graphics system, right? We know that. And both my kids have played it. My youngest, the 12-year-old who filmed the unboxing, he was pretty excited by it. He said it looked really cool. My 14-year-old, he was like, "Why is it red?" I'm like, "That's just what it was." I know we're supposed to be able to change the colors. I don't know how to do that. I don't know if that's available yet.
It's
Like,
not.
no, okay, that would be why I couldn't see that. But I am impressed with the way it is, that 3D look. Like it does look pretty cool for a 90s system that's a VR system, right? So I don't know if you had that impression, Kirk. Like how did you feel about the look of it when you first looked in?
I thought it was cool. Like after I looked at it a bit, like I don't know if it took a while for my eyes to adjust to it,
Mhm. Mhm.
or if I did something to like switch it somehow, because you can kind of like adjust the depth, sort of like you could on
Mhm.
the 3DS,
Mhm.
to help it. But it seemed to me like every time when I start, everything was a blurred mess, and then suddenly everything pops into place, like my eyes just figure it out. Um,
Okay. Yep.
so that could just be me, and the fact that I'm wearing glasses as I'm
Yeah,
playing it.
true. Because when you
Um,
first loaded the games or the system, sorry, the Virtual Boy, like you have to download it, right? So do that first on
mhm.
your Switch or your Switch 2. do that first and open up the app before, and then it'll give you a little prompt, right, to say, put it in your Virtual Boy now. But did you get the thing where it like tells you to adjust the settings?
Yes.
Yes, which was good because for me it was blurry too. I'm like, oh, this doesn't. I can't even see. And then you press the button a few times. I can't remember which button it was, and then suddenly it's clear, and it's like, oh, that looks so cool. It looks really deep and 3D. Yeah, I thought that was really neat. So, which games? Because there's quite a few. I didn't realize they were releasing as many as they were up front. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think is that right? 7 games. Which ones were you or did you try so far?
I got to pull up quickly because I can't remember the names. I didn't play a lot of them.
Yeah.
And
I
of
tried
course
all of them.
Oh. Gee, even that top-down Tetris? Is that
Yeah.
available yet? I don't know.
That was
Oh, yeah.
there. 3D
I'm
Tetris.
staying away from that.
That was okay. So I have mixed feelings about some of these games. And Trev,
Yeah.
you can chime in with your thoughts on the originals because you would have played a lot of these, I imagine. I thought 3D Tetris was better than I expected, to be honest. I thought that would be weird and hard. And did you play this originally, Trev, the 3D Tetris?
No, I didn't have that one.
Yeah, okay. What I like about it is it's a lot easier than I thought. I thought it was going to be really hard and really weird to play. But it has this really good thing on the side, which shows you your level, like the depth of the column that you're looking down at. Because what you're doing is you're looking down a cuboid column thing, and you're putting your blocks down the bottom and making, instead of a line, you're making a cube, and then it disappears, right? And you can stack them on top of each other because sometimes they don't fit, so sometimes you have to go on top. But on the side, it has little squares that sort of reflect each layer of your, well or whatever, which I found really helpful and neat. So it worked a lot better than I expected. I was on the easy mode, so it was pretty easy. But I imagine it gets a lot faster and harder later. So which ones did you try, Kirk?
The first one I played was Red Alarm, and I think I even hit it by accident.
Yeah.
Like that was a cool one to start with for the 3D effect. It's got this vector graphic approach to it, which looks weird when they're not actual vector graphics, but still kind of nostalgic for me for my old Battlezone and Red Baron days, Tail Gunner. But I couldn't figure out the controls. I couldn't figure out how to fire, and this was before I figured out that tapping ZLZR pulls up a menu where you can access all that information. I thought all you could do was hold ZLZR to rewind. So I think after playing this for about a minute or two, I had to shut down the whole system, take my Switch out, and reboot the whole thing because it's awkward to do that from within it. So I took it easy on myself the second time, and I played what is the Wario Land?
Oh yeah.
Which was much better because it was buttons I could understand, and the 3D effect for the most part is just there for effect. But then you actually get to hop between the planes to do different things. And I thought, all right, yeah, now this one I can see the value of the 3D.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed that one as well. And I'm sure Trev has mentioned that in the past, Wario Land.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I did a retro review for the mag on that one several years ago.
Wow. So you had the Virtual Boy was working at that point and you actually played it again?
I think that was the beginning of the end, actually, when I did that review, is when I first noticed that, okay, this is looking funky. And it wasn't long after that. So I got it just in time for that.
Wow. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's interesting. That's another issue that made me a little hesitant with this one is this Virtual Boy re-release. It doesn't have the Virtual Boy controller. Like you got to use Joy-Cons or like a Pro controller. But the VB controller is pretty unique, with the dual D-pads.
Right.
And,
okay.
Even the feel of it felt unique amongst, similar controllers from Nintendo. So I'm wondering why they didn't just have that. And I'm assuming maybe it was a price thing. But
yeah, that's a good point. I wonder also because like I said, I've never. Well, okay, I did try the Virtual Boy once in Japan. I've mentioned on the show before, and I got really excited when I saw it in a retro store. And it was set up, and they had pretty sure it was Red Alarm because I recognized that when I played it. I'm like, oh, this is the one I played in Japan. But the controls, Nintendo is kind of known for its controls. Like the Nintendo 64 was really out there. The GameCube one, everyone loves that. Even the Pro Controller 2 now and 1, we love those. So yeah, you're right. Why did we not have them? I wonder if they'll make them available at some point as an extra purchase. I doubt I would get them, to be honest. But anyway, yeah. Did you try anything else? Oh, well, I guess I should talk about Wario first. I thought it was really good too. I love my platformers. Do you know what this made me think though? We need a new Wario Land platformer, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I miss Wario's platforming outings. They're so good.
Mhm.
They're so fun.
They did recently re-release the GameCube one, I think, on Switch Online. I know it's not quite the same, but
Yeah, was that the 3D one though?
yeah, it
Or
was a 3D one.
yeah, they did. I need to play that. I haven't actually played that, but I do need to play that. I do think we need more, yeah, more Wario platforming stuff. What else did you play, Kirk?
Two others. It's not going to come as a surprise, I think, at all that I played the Mansion of Innsmouth.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Innsmouth. It's kind of like a dungeon crawling DRPG.
Mhm.
And it actually had a really cool mechanic because mostly when you play these games and you run into an enemy that you have to fight, it's turn based, or in that I can't remember the name of the game that I just reviewed recently, where you have to just kind of keep moving and hope for the best. But the enemies sort of like slide around, and you have to target them with the right stick and
Mhm.
then fire at them. It I think out of all the games that were released initially, this is the one that's going to require the most amount of research and like actually finding strategies on how to play it. This looks like
Mm.
it could be a pretty in-depth game, so I got a kick out of that one for a brief period.
Yeah.
Um, and then real quickly, and then we'll bounce back to the games you're playing. Trev, I had to try Galactic Pinball. Um, and I think I'm so much of a pinball purist at this point that the physics of this game were probably the worst of any pinball game I have ever played on any system, as
Mm.
far as just this weird disc bouncing off things in random ways.
I was gonna say, is it because it's more like a puck, right?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's like nothing about this behaves or feels like actual pinball, and I get it. Fine, who cares? No one's looking at Virtual Boy for a quality pinball experience, but I just could not get into that one at all.
It's Galactic Pinball.
Yeah, it's true. It's there's no gravity. We're in outer space.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Except there is gravity because you can launch the puck into like a hole in Jupiter. Is that what's happening there?
I don't know, actually. Yeah.
I will just say, and not that I disagree with anything you're saying, but video pinball, especially for that period of time, is different from like nowadays, where we boot up Pinball FX or Pinball Arcade. Um, Very distinct. So if you're not a fan of, like, I'm a fan of both, but they are very distinct. So I can understand somebody more accustomed to traditional pinball physics.
Well, I mean,
Are
even like because they had pinball on the Intellivision or the Atari or all those systems, and even those felt like there was more care put into the way the ball slash puck is bouncing off things than what I got in this game.
Mm. I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no, you go.
I was going to say, out of the, because that was a launch game. They were 4 Virtual Boy launch games back in the day. Mario Tennis, which was the pack-in, which ironically I don't think is available yet
No,
for Switch.
I want that one.
Um, that got a lot of care because it was Mario. Um, Red Alarm, which was unique because of what Kirk already said. Teleroboxer,
Mhm.
which I never actually played, and Galactic Pinball. I wouldn't be surprised if the pinball got the least resources out of those 4 titles.
Yeah. I'm not as big a pinball fan as you guys, but I've definitely liked pinball and I've played it. And yeah, it is a little strange how the puck works. I mean, I played it and I liked it, but yeah, it does behave a little differently. I did think that, and I'm not a purist by any means, so I wouldn't necessarily notice these things, but I did notice the puck was just like slowing down in random places and moving at odd angles. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
or like it looks like it's slowing down, and there's no way it's going to go up this ramp, but it
And then
looks
it
like
does.
the little
Yeah.
puck that could, yeah, and
Yeah.
it just slowly makes its way. I'm like, oh, look at that guy, nice job.
Yeah.
I wish the ball and real pinball would defy the laws of physics and help me out every now and again like that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's cool.
How does
Yeah.
it compare to Revenge of the Gator on the Game Boy?
I used to love that game. in my mind, that was a really good pinball experience, but I don't know. That was a long time ago. So it's been a long time
Nah,
since I
it's a
played
cute
that.
game.
Yeah, it was cute. Yeah. I liked it when you do something special and then the little gators there'd be a cutscene where gators would do something cool and maybe there's a bonus thing. I can't remember now, but yeah, that was fun. Well, we need to move on to other things, but just quickly, I did try Tellero Boxer. I've tried all of them. That one is available. Um, yeah, I thought that was interesting. Like it is it's a first person perspective boxing, so you're just seeing your hands and fists. That one was really hard to control. Like I had to look up the controls for that one. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here, but the enemy was it's not like a human. Looked like a monster of some sort. So yeah, it looked good though. The graphics were good in that one. Quite difficult for me as I don't know, just for me maybe. I tried golf because I thought of you, Trevor. So I tried golf,
Oh yeah.
which I also found hard, but I eventually got the hang of it. I think I got a hole in 6 or maybe 7. I don't know. My first hole. But you can choose your club. I like the little menu at the top that you can spin around. I guess that was kind of neat. Like how else do you do it in a virtual environment? So that was a nice way to do it. Yeah, it looked pretty good. What else? 3D Tetris I've mentioned. Red Alarm we've mentioned. The Mansion of Innsmouth, I will say I did try that. I had no idea what I was doing, Kirk. I died so fast, and I don't know. I don't know how to play that at all. I was like, what is going on? I didn't even realize at first that I was moving. And so you move down a hallway and you can see the chandeliers at the top. That's how you can know that you're actually progressing. They're coming closer.
Yeah.
Then you go left and right. I don't know where. I wish a map was there because I just didn't know where to go. And there's a timer. Why is there a time? What am I supposed to do in that time? The time limit ran out and I died. So
Yeah, you're supposed to find something. I don't know if it's to advance to the next floor, you find your way up, or if there are keys you need to grab. I did grab a key at one point. Didn't I get a key? No, that was the Wario. He got a key.
he
At
got
one
a key.
point.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got a key. But yeah, so you have to do that, to do something, whatever the rule is. No, there are keys. Yeah, I'm looking at a screen capture right now, and there's a key. So
Okay. I just need to find a key.
mainly, yeah, I just ran around and would attack monsters until the game ended. I don't think
Yeah.
I ever got any further. So yes, a map would certainly help.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And it gives you a password, which is a pretty old school feature.
Yes.
But then I'm
Yeah.
like, I didn't get far enough to need a password. Like I didn't do
Yeah,
it.
I never rebooted either. I just started from scratch each time.
Yeah. I think Wario is the standout, definitely. I think it's the best one. I will definitely revisit that one. And Tetris was pretty fun too. So I think those were my favorite two. Red Alarm was pretty cool. I tried that a fair bit, but again, like you, I was a bit lost at the start with the controls. And then at some point I got into a room and I just didn't know where the exit was. So because you're flying through space, but then suddenly it's not just straight. It's a shooter, but suddenly you have to find there's like an enemy to fight and then he will disappear. Like there's these giant faces in space. It's pretty cool. But yeah, pretty difficult as well. That's our experience with the Virtual Boy. Let us know, listeners, if you are playing, what you think.
I have one
Yeah.
quick question
Sure.
for you guys. I know we've already taken up a ton of time on this, but what happens if you try to load up Virtual Boy games outside of the cardboard or plastic dock?
Did you want to answer that, Kirk? Or do you want me to?
I don't know if I tried. I think it doesn't it say that it needs?
Yeah, I think
Because how would it even know?
That's what I was
yeah,
wondering.
it
Like,
does
how does it know?
seem to know though, because when you exit, it does the same thing. It has like a message saying,
Yeah.
yeah, and you
Yeah,
can't
that's like
close
when
it.
you're done, Trev, you can't just shut down the system when it's inside of the plastic or the cardboard, depending on your system. It'll take you to a point where there's like a close button, and then underneath it says, now take the switch out of the Virtual Boy and tap close. And then
Mm,
you have to do that after you've already taken it out in order to get back to the regular screen.
yeah.
Hmm.
So it somehow knows. I don't know how it knows though. That's a good
Yeah.
question, but it does seem to know because if you load it up, when you first load it up, you download the Virtual Boy online, whatever, boot it up, and then it says something like now insert it into the Virtual Boy, and it doesn't do anything. And then when you put it in, it does something. So I
Yeah.
don't know how it knows, but it seems to know. Must be a trigger.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Some kind of like NFC device or something that's hidden in the cardboard or the
Yeah.
plastic that has to be
Yeah.
within
Must be.
proximity.
Oh,
I know we have spent a lot of time on this, sorry, but there was one other thing I did want to mention. because I didn't realize until during the week, and I haven't had a chance to do this, but some Switch games are playable in the Virtual Boy as well. Did you guys know that? You can play,
I did read that.
yeah, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and I don't think it's the whole game. I think it's like a section or something, or special levels. Mario Odyssey has a special section. Smash Brothers, I think, I don't know, some levels or maybe the whole thing. I'm not sure about that one. But the big one is Breath of the Wild. Apparently, you can play the whole thing in the Virtual Boy, and it looks
Oh
like,
man,
yeah.
your neck would be
I
killing
know,
you.
I know. I really want to give that one a try. I don't own Treasure Tracker or Smash, but I do own Odyssey, so I'll try that one too. So I will give those two a
You don't have
try.
Treasure Tracker?
I have the Wii U one. I don't have the
Oh, okay,
Switch
okay.
one. Yeah, I didn't
I
upgrade.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And Trev, did you say you have the Labo?
I don't. I was aware of
Okay.
it,
Me neither.
but
All right.
I
Yeah,
never
because
actually got into
I
it.
did read that you can use the Virtual Boy games with the old Nintendo Labo system.
Cool. Okay.
They don't support it, but it works.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
thought I had heard that too, and then I thought somebody said actually no. Like I got mixed signals on that. Like, can you not? Like,
Yeah, I
I
think
don't know.
somebody leaked that you can, and then they came back and said no, you can't. But
Is it
then
just because it's the
people
official
have
line?
tried it.
Yeah,
What's that?
it's just because that's the official line. You can't, but you really can if you're determined, type of thing.
Yeah, I don't even think it's a matter of being determined. You can, yeah, just you obviously wouldn't work with the Switch 2 because they didn't make Labo for the Switch 2. But with an old Switch, you would be able to uh, apparently, although that wouldn't have whatever it is that makes it obvious. So I don't know. I just read that you can, but I haven't tried it myself. So
Oh,
Okay.
somebody's gonna have to break down their system and
Yeah,
dissect it.
someone will make it happen. Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, hopefully I can try Breath of the Wild during the week and report back on that next week. Yeah. Again, listeners, let us know if you've tried that. Let's move on to some other news because we are rapidly running out of time. But there were two very big announcements that just came out of the blue in the last few days. First of all, it's not. I think we were expecting this, but it still was a surprise. Xenoblade Chronicles X has a Switch 2 edition. It's out now. It came out. They're like, here it is. It's out. And it's an upgrade pack option. It's $5 or $4.99 or something. It gives you a 60 frames per second frame rate and a resolution up to 4K. The digital, sorry, I should specify the digital is available now. There is a physical release coming on April the 16th for the Switch 2 edition. How do you guys feel about that? I know you are both big Xenoblade fans. I mean, we all love Xenoblade. I have not got this game, so I haven't played this. I know it was on our top 10 from last year for the Switch version. We kind of expected this to be coming at some point, I think. So, Kirk, especially, maybe. How do you feel? Are you going to get this? Are you going to upgrade it?
I did.
You
I
did?
did.
Yeah.
But I haven't played this game in such a long time. I downloaded it and I booted it up to just kind of check it out. Yeah, it does look a bit better. I mean, I haven't played it in a while, but it just like when you're playing Switch 2 games on the Switch 2, you just know, right? As opposed to playing another Switch game, there's a difference there, and that difference was gone from Xenoblade Chronicles X once I was playing the new version. It doesn't add a whole lot. What frame rate? Yeah, as you mentioned, 60 frames per second, resolution of 4K. There's no, at least I couldn't find it, way to distinguish. Most of the games that do this give you 4K or 60 FPS. This may be giving both because I didn't see anywhere where I could change a setting to switch between the two of them. And I'm not trained enough to be able to say, yeah, this is definitely 60 frames per second as I'm looking at it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's worth $5, honestly.
Yeah.
It just makes it look better. That's it. It's not adding anything else, and that's fine. The game doesn't need anything else. But it just seemed weird that I had to pay $5 just for that. So once I can get back into it, maybe I'll change it a bit. Maybe it is going to make some of the battles, the big battles, and the epic journeys across that gorgeous landscape look a lot better. But as I mentioned before with the Xenoblade games, I completely forgot the combat system. I'd forgotten how to jump. I didn't even bother to get into one of my skills. I thought this is going to take a whole investment of time to reacquaint myself with this system. So there's no time to do it right now, and I shut it off and moved.
Fair enough. Yeah. What about you, Trev?
Um, I kind of agree with a lot of what Kirk said. The thing is, I thought Xenoblade Chronicles X, even though it was a Switch 1 game, I thought it already looked pretty darn great on Switch 2, just by
Mm,
virtue of being on Switch 2.
Mhm.
And I know it wasn't necessarily optimized for that, but most Switch games, if you pop the card into Switch 2, are going to look a little better anyway.
hmm Yeah.
Is this worth $5 for 60 frames per second? Where, I mean, I'm so used to 30, it's lost on me. I think
hmm
this is more for maybe younger gamers who've become more accustomed to like frame rate stuff.
hmm
Um, if you don't have a 4K TV, is this going to be? I'm sick of Switch 2 editions, and I don't want to beat a dead horse,
mm,
especially when it's a great game like this. But I'm just sick of Switch 2 editions.
yeah. Yeah.
That's all I got.
Fair enough. Yeah. I,
But would you be sick of it if this was free?
that's a good question. Yeah.
The thing is, it's hard to say. Granted, to do a Switch 2 edition, it's not going to take the resources that it takes to do a brand new game.
hmm
But it is taking some resources, and I'd rather see them on something new. To be fair to Xenoblade, it was a late Switch release. So if it can find more of an audience on Switch 2, that's great. But it's more for them doing for these other games that have been out for years and sold tens of millions of copies. It's like, I don't know.
It's an
I hate to be a Debbie Downer. I really do. But
it's an interesting question. It is, and I don't know the answer. I think it's just
like,
tough.
it's good for you, Gemma, because you haven't played this. So if you pick up the Switch 2 edition, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I don't want to
Yeah,
come off sounding selfish, but for me that already has it,
yeah.
yeah, I'll
I
probably save
mean,
my $5.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's it. And I suppose it is optional. I think it could have been free, probably. I don't know what their model is because wasn't Donkey Kong Returns
There's no
free?
consistency.
Yeah.
Free 5, 10, 20.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm glad it was only 5 and not 10 or 20. I don't think it would be worth that at all. 5 is low, but I don't know. I mean, I saw a lot of people being excited online when it was announced. Some fans really wanted this, so that's good. And if they're happy to pay for $5, then that's great. A lot of people who, like me, I suppose, haven't got the original now can get it. Maybe they were waiting for a Switch 2 edition. Someone online said, "Oh, my friend just picked up the Switch version last week, or just finished the Switch version or something last week. Like I wish this was out sooner," kind of thing. Um, I don't know. What can you do, right? Like some people love it, some people hate it. You're not going to please everyone. I think at least it's only $5. It probably should have been free, but it is what it is. If you want it, buy it. If you don't want it, don't buy it. Maybe, I guess. It's probably my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So although I think it should have been free, I paid the $5 because playing it knowing there's a better version out there. Like if when I do go back to it,
Mm.
I eventually would have broken down and thought, you know what, why am I taking myself back
Yeah.
to 2022?
Yeah. And I think if it was a game that I loved, like if I was a huge fan and a version came out that was $5 extra for better graphics, I would buy it just
Yeah.
because I'm a huge fan. Like Mario, if Mario did that, I would do that. Like I wouldn't even think about it. But that's just because I'm a huge fan, right? And
You know what
maybe
it feels like though, Gemma?
mm,
It's like we got this brand new hardware that we spent $500 on.
mm-hmm,
Now we're paying extra to access what's like in the hardware.
mm,
Like I just did a little update to Broken Sword, which was $5 DLC,
mm-hmm,
and a lot of the similar things, 4K. But at least that added mouse controls,
mm-hmm.
which actually felt like a fresh new element and justified the $5. I don't mind
Yeah.
updates, but if they're just a resolution boost, I feel like that's where they're nickel and diamond.
Yeah. I do. Yeah, I think you have a point there. Like Hollow Knight, the upgrade was free and they could have charged. I would have paid for it too, but they did it for free. So yeah, I think yeah, when you're talking graphics, resolution, probably should be free. I would say that. Yeah. But it is what it is, unfortunately. Let us know your thoughts, listeners, your thoughts on that one. Um, Yeah, I think the best situation, like the people who benefit the most from this, are people who are fresh to it because they can just get the Switch 2 version.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I mean, don't sleep on it. If you were waiting for that, definitely you're gonna get your money's worth and then
yeah,
some.
yeah, exactly. Another surprise, which just came literally last night for me, I saw and I added it to the notes quickly because Pokemon Presents is happening the 27th of February, which is Pokemon Day. It's the 30th anniversary of the Pokemon series. Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green have been announced for the Switch, where they're coming out on February the 27th on Pokemon Presents Day or Pokemon Day. They will be $19.99 each. Now, these are the remakes of the original Red and Green games, which were the first games. And so these are the Game Boy Advance games. I've not played these. Have you played these? Sorry, Trev. I know Kirk
I have
hasn't.
not.
I know Kirk hasn't. But Trev probably hasn't either because we got into Pokemon a bit late in terms of the games, didn't we? So I have not played them, and I'm guessing you also
Yeah, no, I
haven't. Yeah,
haven't.
yeah. People seem pretty excited about this. I don't know. How do you feel? Any opinions?
I'm reasonably excited.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking to get into these games now, and you want, first of all, a lot of the copies on the market are fake,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want a legit copy, you're going to spend a buttload of money because
Mm.
these games are in demand.
Yeah.
So to be able to get it for what are they, 19.99 on the
Mm-hmm.
eShop?
Yep.
I think they're going to sell great.
Yeah, I
You
think so
know, I
too.
think you're going
Yeah.
to look on the charts or whatever they have and find them moving because that's what happened with the original Game Boy Pokemon re-releases on the Virtual Console. They were always near the top of the charts
Mm.
because
Yeah.
there's a generation that are so nostalgic for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Poke.
not going to buy both copies, but I'll probably buy a copy just
Yeah.
to see what the fuss is about. I'm not the biggest fan of the older style Pokemon games, but yeah, I think it's cool, and I think maybe it's something Justin predicted. So
Oh yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah, I
yeah,
think it's neat. I'll probably pick up one as well. Just have to decide which one.
we should pick up whatever you pick up. I'll pick up the opposite one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really cool. Um, Especially like for both the nostalgic people who want to replay it and then for people like us who haven't played it before. I think that's really cool.
You're going to pick
$20.
up green, aren't you? Because that's your
Yeah.
favorite color.
Yeah, I am.
Ah,
You do know me
that's my
well.
favorite too.
Yeah. Well, I assume green is that Bulbasaur then? I don't know. Red would be
that sounds right.
Charmander probably, or Charizard. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Just quickly, I wanted to say, we talked about the Mario anniversary. There's this little app, I guess you could call it, on the Switch. It's not. I don't think it's in Australia though. From what I was reading, it's on the Switch, maybe in the US, and it is on mobile devices in Australia for some reason. So I did actually download it on my mobile. It's called Hello Mario, and it's just a little app that you can basically like stretch Mario's face around, kind of like the beginning of was it Mario 64?
Mario
Yeah,
64.
and it's meant to be for kids. Like this is this new kids range of Mario toys they're sort of promoting, and in this one it doesn't count down or anything, but there's a time limit. So after I think it's 10 minutes, Mario goes to sleep. Like his little face gets tired and he goes to sleep. So your kid is not on devices for hours, right? So it's a cool idea. It's pretty fun. Like I did play it on my mobile for 10 minutes until Mario went to sleep. And you can choose, like he's not just stretching his face. There's a whole lot of icons you can choose, like a pipe. You can put the head. It's just Mario's head. You put him in the pipe. He can shrink if you there's a cheap. So if you make the cheap swim around and it hits Mario, he will shrink and his head becomes small. But you can also give him a mushroom, and then you can give him another mushroom, and he becomes giant head. There's like music. There's bubbles you can pop. There's a few just little cute little interactive features. It's a very small little app, but it's free. I should also mention, and it's meant, yeah, like I said, it's meant for kids. It's cute. My kids are a bit old now, but when they were little, maybe at like a doctor's appointment, if I had to entertain them for 10 minutes, this would be the thing. I could just give them my phone and know that they're playing something relatively wholesome and I'm not too worried about it. Maybe. I don't know. That's the kind of thing I would think of, but yeah. Anyway, were you aware of that?
Only after you posted it.
Yeah.
put it in here
It's
for discussion.
a bit odd news. But anyway, we won't dwell on that one. I think it's just a fun little cute thing. Unless Trev had a comment, but otherwise, happy to move on to Kirk's corner.
Yeah, I got nothing much to say.
Yeah, that's
I get
okay.
a vague whiff of it. cute for what it is, but I didn't download it.
Yeah, no, I will probably never play it again. Hayden thought it was cute. I mean, he's 12. It's not made for 12-year-olds. It's probably meant for, like, 4, 5, 6 maybe year olds, maybe even 3-year-olds. I don't know. But he thought it was cute, and he would have loved this. I think when he was little. But let's go to Kirk's corner and see what you have for us this week.
This time I have a kind of a retro platformer from Pufferfish and East Asia Soft. This is a $5 game coming out February 25th. And it's just this cute little retro platformer called Pogui. I put it in here because I keep talking about all these games, and most of the time they're my kind of games. Gem, I put this one in for you because
Oh, thanks.
it's more your kind of game.
It is.
But yeah, you're this little pug, of course, with his tongue hanging out, and like the whole point of this game. Well, I mean, it's a platformer, so you need to get from here to there, right? That's the way it always is.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, like this pug, he just wants to go to sleep. But as it says in the press release, crazy stuff keeps happening around him, and you need to guide him through dreamlike worlds and help him get to bed. And I thought, well, okay, that sounds like something I can identify with.
Yes.
I don't have to hop across a whole bunch of things or put on different hats to do so, but I understand the desire to go to sleep. So yeah, I don't know that I have a whole lot to say. I imagine that there will be a little video showing as I'm discussing this if you're listening to the podcast on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, $5. It looks cute. It looks fun. And if you're into platformers of the pixel art kind, check it out.
Yeah, it does look cute. I do love the little outfits. It says it further maximizes his cuteness. So
Yeah.
that's...
Well, putting a dog in a spacesuit, I mean, it's going to work every time, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I guess depending on the type of dog. There are some I can't imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I like to put little hats on my dog, but she hates it though. So. Thank you, Kirk. That does look very cute. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll try and pick that up during the week and give it a play because it does look very cute indeed. Let's move on to the games we're playing. And I think we have one each. Mine, it will be pretty quick because it's Mario Tennis, which I already talked about last week. Mario Tennis Fever. I've been playing it. I just wanted to say that because I'm writing a review of it, and I think one thing that helps when you've got kids, especially now that they're I've got a preteen and a teen, if they like it, that's also a good sign, right? So we played it together. I kind of had to force them the first time because they're just in that stage where it's like, no, what mum wants is not cool kind of thing. But we played it and we had a blast, and they wanted to play it, and they have played it together, the two of them, without me, which I always think is a really good sign. If they want to play a game and I'm not there, it's like, can we play Mario Tennis? I'm like, sure, go ahead and play it. I love that. So yeah, that's a really good sign, I think, that the kids want to play it. What I like about it also is that you don't have to be an expert at tennis to be good at this game, and you can turn on these fever rackets or turn them off if you want a bit more of a traditional match. So the fever rackets do make things harder, of course, because you're hitting flames onto the field, or there's some protective ones too. Like we've discovered there's one that's a star, like a superstar that gives you invincibility for a period once you activate it. So if there is something on the court, you won't get affected by it. So there's sort of helpful things as well. But yeah, we have had some very close matches, basically, where it's like, how you get to like juice. What is it, juice? Yeah, 40 all. And then when you're both the same, when you're both juiced, and then it's like advantage one team, and then the other team gets a point, so it's back to juice, and then it's the advantage of the other team, back to juice. You know what I mean? It's like that to and fro, just like the matches that you might watch on TV. It's like it's gripping. It's really, and it's like, come on, I just need to win this one game. So yeah, it's really good for that. So I think as a multiplayer game, it works really, really well, definitely. So keep an eye out for my review. I'll should be getting that up this week, but I won't dwell any more on that unless Trove had any questions, because you weren't here last week about Mario Tennis Fever.
I'll be looking forward to your review. I like the Mario Tennis games. I don't have them all, but I got a fair number. So
yeah, because I think this is the 8th one. How many out of the 8 would you say you have?
I got Game Boy Color. I got 64. I got a Wii U.
And you probably had the Virtual
Um,
Boy one if you don't still have it.
oh yeah, so there's at least 4 that I had.
Yeah, nice.
Or
Yeah,
have.
yeah. There you go. Cool. Yeah. So keep an eye out for that one. But let's move on to Trev and see what he's playing this week.
So I'm actually playing quite a bit, but they're either games I've already talked about on the podcast or a couple that are going to be on the site when this airs because they're already just waiting to be proofread.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than talk about repeats, I want to talk about the one game I'm playing that I haven't talked about yet, and that's Poker Night at the Inventory, which is a port of I guess, a game that wasn't widely available back in the day. It's Telltale Games, who are, I guess, were more known then for like their point and click type games, and it actually has characters from some of them, like Max from the Sam and Max games, and Strong Bad from Strong Bad's Cool Games for Attractive People. It's a Texas Hold'em game, and the gimmick, or I don't want to say gimmick necessarily because that sounds negative. It's the cool feature about it is the dialogue between the characters. Besides Max and Strong Bad, there's 2 others from games I'm not familiar with, so I can't even recall their names off the top of my head. But there's a lot of cool dialogue between them at the poker table, and in game you can actually crank up the dialogue from minimum all the way to like gobs of gab or whatever they call it, and it's a lot of fun. It helps that I'm a big fan of Strong Bad, so he's the
Tycho?
character.
Tycho the Heavy? I think the other 2.
Yes, that sounds right. And I don't really know them. They're humorous in their own ways. Tycho is a bit foul-mouthed, but you can actually, I think the game defaults to like censoring him, so you don't actually hear cursing. It's like bleeped out. But they're all funny, and they all have different exchanges with each other. And of course, if you know the source material, I imagine is even better, because I know Strong Bad, and I get a kick out of his inflections and the way he modulates, and even some of the stuff he says reminds me of some of the the web comics or whatnot. So
Wow.
yeah, it's a fun little game. It's not a game I expected to come to Switch, but I think it's pretty cool. It's easy insofar as it's just Texas Hold'em, but I've yet to win a tournament, so take that for what you will. Although my wife's won, so I don't know if I'm just not a good bluffer or too reckless. Of course, you're not playing with real money, so it's easier to be, loosey goosey and just all in. But
And it looks like this was originally released in 2010 and then it was removed from sale 9 years later. So like you're saying, it's hard to get like
yeah,
the original. So
and I'm wondering with the licensing now, does that mean that we're going to see more of the Telltale Games titles show up on Switch or Switch 2? Because like they did like a Back to the Future point and click game. I would have loved to. I think it was on the Wii,
cool.
and I missed it. I'd love to play that on new hardware. So
They had a good Wallace and Gromit game too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And many more. Yeah, they were really great. I met them at a Macworld Expo because from the very start they said we're huge Mac fans and we're going to support the Mac straight away. So I played quite a few of their games, and yeah, excellent adventure games.
Oh,
Nice.
cool. Yeah. It's very cool.
It does say that this was remastered by Skunk Cape Games, which is a small team of former Telltale employees. So maybe they are going to push out more.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. That's really cool. The Nintendo Switch 2 version is slightly bigger than the Nintendo Switch version in size. Is that normal? Anyway, that sounds good. So that comes out on March the 5th. So a few weeks away, and you're working on a review for that, Trev?
Yeah, I am. And
nice.
It's, like I said, there's not a lot to it, at least from what I can tell, but if you're a fan of any of these characters, I'd say it's probably worth it. And if you're a fan of more than one, at least me, I know a Strong Bad and Max, so I'm 2 out of the 4.
Yeah.
And, like I said, they all have unique dialogue, not just to you, the player, but to each other. So a lot of chuckles. Anytime I can laugh out loud playing a game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Very cool. Thank you, Trev. And Kirk, do you have an update on Shadow Tactics for us?
I do. I played quite a bit of this game and learned a lot more about it. I'm not going to talk a lot more about it because we're almost out of time. Um, but yeah, I can't remember exactly what I talked about before on this. I will say this is Shadow Tactics. It's coming out in mid-March. What is the exact date on this? It is March 18th.
Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a stealth strategy game, top-down isometric view, and you have different characters. The most I've had on one level right now is 3, and you'll have a mission that you have to do on these huge levels where you have to infiltrate different areas, need to sneak past people, enemies you can kill. There will be a lot of civilians. You can kill them. It's not encouraged. You have the ability to knock them out instead of hit them with a weapon, but they will wake up. So you either need to make sure that you have moved on, in which case, if they can't figure out what happened to them, they just kind of run into a house and they're gone and you've solved the problem. I found out I'm a pretty sadistic guy because when you do kill an enemy, you have to hide the body. I mean, not always. There will be times where there's no one else, but there will be a lot of guards moving around, and you can see their view cones. And if it's going to go over top the body, they're going to be alerted that something is wrong, and then a whole bunch of enemies come sweeping in until they find you and kill you. You can put them in bushes. You can throw them down wells. You can hide them in houses that are nearby. You just need to get rid of the body once. I found that I really enjoy throwing bodies off cliffs. I have no idea why, but if there's a bush and there's a cliff, I'm going to take the cliff every single time.
Trav, did you say Yellowstone just then? Because that's what I was
said.
thinking.
That's dark, man.
Oh, that is dark, but it reminds me of Yellowstone. Have either of you guys seen that? They're always throwing bodies off cliffs in that show.
I don't know if it's the way they fall in this, because you can't watch them. You just see them disappear until they're out of view, but just the way you heave the body to me.
It's overkill if they're already dead.
Yeah, no.
Wait, can you hide the bodies you knock out, or is it just the ones that you kill?
You can, and you have to sometimes. You just, again, you're hiding them. They're hiding the body from view from someone else, another guard, another civilian. Once the person wakes up, even if the civilian or the other guard sees that person, then they're like, okay, well, there's nothing here. They'll come out at one point and say, hey, where's the guy who's supposed to be working at this, fence or whatever. But as long as there's no actual evidence that something's gone wrong, then you're fine.
And you can see this dialogue happening even if you've moved well on from that area. You can still see their little dialogue going, hey, where's this dude going or whatever.
Yeah. Now, I've switched the dialogue to Japanese. I can't imagine playing this game. Just look at the screen captures, and it's set in the Edo period of Japan. You got to play this with Japanese dialogue. So a lot of times I'm looking at something else and I don't see what they say because I can't, understand, the vast majority of what's being said. But yeah, it's such a crazy. I mean, it's huge. There are times where I'm like, I can't figure out what to do here, and I'll check a walkthrough. And then I'm like, well, that was stupid. Of course I could have tried that. But there are so many ways to get through it. You have different characters and they all have different skills and you need to work with them in tandem. But there's always going to be more. Well, not always. There will mostly be more than one route to get to where you need to go. And just taking your time to get there is half the fun. One last thing I will say, and I love the way they do this, is when you first play the mission, there are bonus achievements that you can get done, but you're not even told what they are. You have no idea what they are. The whole point is just play through the level, figure it out, get to the end. After you're done, then you'll say, oh, I got this one and I got this one, but I missed. Now you can go back and say, oh, if I kill 3 guys by dropping a rock on their head, also very funny, by the way. Then you can go back and I only did that to one guy. I got to find more rocks and more boulders, I should say, and shove them onto someone's head to get the bonus. There is a time bonus. I think I mentioned last week. I am never going to get the time bonus ever. I don't think I've come within an hour of the time bonus.
Oh wow!
So far. Yeah, it's nuts.
What time limit are they trying to give you? The bonus.
I think there have been like 13 minutes, 15 minutes, and I'm up around an hour and 45.
Wow. Okay. You're taking virtual boy breaks in between
Yeah,
Kills.
that's what it is. There is one more thing I want to point out about this because it's kind of strange. You can get Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun Ultimate Bundle, which also includes the DLC Aiko's Choice. She's one of the characters that you can use. That is a standalone DLC. So you could just get the DLC and not the main game.
Oh, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never really seen that before. It's only, I believe, like 3 or 4 levels, so it's much cheaper. But yeah, if you wanted to try it, I don't know if there's going to be a demo. Just get the standalone and see if you like that, and then if you do, go back and play the main thing.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Huh.
But I will say, yeah, I recommend getting the bundle on this. It's so much fun. I'm really enjoying my time with this game.
Nice. That's really cool. Do you think this is Game of the Year potentially? Like,
I don't think so. I mean, it's a little too old. What did originally came out, I think, in 2010.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And although they nail almost everything about it, it'll be in my top 10.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
sure.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I meant will it be a contender for top 10?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds like it. If you're having that much fun with it. Yeah, I'm checking out the DLC now to see how much it is.
I think it's $19.99.
It's $32 in Australia, but it's 10% off for pre-orders. So, yeah, which is pretty cool. Love it. Thank you, Kirk. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Because, yeah, we saw that during the direct, and it certainly looked interesting and right up your alley. So, glad that's turned out to be true. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of the show. Did you guys have anything you'd like to add before we do close things off for the week?
I don't think so.
Just watch out for cliffs.
Yeah. Especially when Kirk's around. Yeah.
Boulders from above, cliffs below.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you both so much for joining me this week. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'd love to know your thoughts on everything we've discussed, whether it's Mario Tennis or the Virtual Boy or definitely the Zelda anniversary. Are you going to pick up Xenoblade Chronicles X or Pokemon Fire Red or Leaf Green? Let us know. If you'd like to support us and get a copy of the Pure Nintendo magazine, you can head on over to patreon.com/PureNintendo and subscribe over there. The next issue is being proofed right now, so it's very, very close. I need to make some just minor edits that Trevor's mentioned, so thank you, Trev. And we'll be heading to print very soon, so look out for that. Very exciting. Can't wait to get that into your hands. If you want to follow us on social media, you can head over to Blue Sky. I should also say we are also on Instagram. I never mentioned that, but we are actually also on Instagram. You could follow us there too if you like. Yeah.
I'll subscribe or follow.
Yeah. We have periods of activity on Instagram. Like when I'm at parks, I'm busy on Instagram, but not always at other times. But we are on there, so check out some nice photos. And thank you again. Thank you everyone for listening. And until next week, game on, everybody. Bye.
See ya.